Hi, dear love. I'm Nicole, and today I want to share with you a question that frequently pops up, and it is, Nicole, how do I know when it's time to let go? Well, there are some statements that you will hear from your significant other, your partner, from the person that you really care for or love that really are saying it's time for you to move on. So before I even go into those statements, I want you to know that I've received that type of rejection, and so many of my clients have too. So you're not alone, and you are valid in questioning whether you should stay or whether you should go. And before I even go into the statements, I just want to say that in that moment of feeling alone or lonely or isolated, and that sadness can feel very overwhelming when you do know it's time for you to move forward without this person. But it won't last forever. And Divine Source did not create you to live a life of unhappiness and solitude. Not when your soul is crying out for companionship and true love, but sometimes it's very important for you to detach from a toxic person or toxic energy that's within your relationship in order for one or both of you to grow. Sometimes you do come back together, sometimes you don't. But sometimes when you don't come back together, you're blessed with this beautiful new person that comes in, and you realize, oh my gosh, had I stayed in this toxic situation, I wouldn't have been blessed to know you. So, some of the statements that you will receive from this other person you're questioning whether you should be with are, if they say some form of endearment, such as, I love you, I like you, you're special to me, I admire you, but, in that but brings a statement that really shatters or crushes your world. It breaks your heart. I really think you should see other people. That type of statement there is saying it's time for you to let go. Honor your intuition. If they're saying any form of, I love you, you're the one for me, I really do want to marry you, but on the other hand, I don't really know what I want. I don't really know if that's the right thing I should do. It's really time for you to step back and to let them control their own energy and figure it out. Again, if they're saying some form of endearment, I love you, I really care about you, but I can't commit to you right now. That right now is where we often reason staying. And sometimes in allowing that other person to really waste our time. They're not going to take responsibility for you choosing to stay after they have already told you, this is my truth, by saying, I can't, or I don't, or I need. Whatever that I is, and then after that is their truth. And we really, as individuals, have to take a person for their word. And so when they say right now, I love you, but I can't commit to you right now. That right now opens that window of being strung along and idealizing or romanticizing conditional or unrequited love. So if they're saying some form of endearment, I care about you, but I've fallen in love with someone else. I'm in love with you, but I'm in love with him too. That but is telling you the reason you should go, okay? And that truth, their truth, is after that I. Okay? And it's all after that but. That's the conditional statement. When they're saying a truth that makes you feel good, it speaks to your soul, it's that endearment. And then they have the but. I love you. I know that you're my true love. That makes your heart feel good. It makes you, oh my gosh, I love you too. I know you're my true love too. But I'm married. And if I leave, I'm going to lose everything. I'm going to go for child support. I got to stay for the kids. And it shatters your world. You want to look at that but. And when your energy plummets, that is your intuition. And that is divine source speaking through your intuition. And that's telling you to honor your truth. That but is that conditional statement that negates your truth. Okay? And you want that positive reinforcement and that support. That complementing energy to what your truth is. And so if they say, I love you, but I'm not good enough for you, take them for their word. I appreciate you and you're a great parent, you're a great mom, but I don't want kids. And you have kids, or you really want kids. And if they say, I don't want kids right now, is your truth saying that too? Or is your truth saying you do want kids right now? Women, we can fall into that very easily because we do have a biological clock that makes it very difficult as we grow outside of childbearing years to have children. And so if they're saying, I think you're very special, and I could see myself, I could see us spending the rest of our lives together. I could see myself marrying you one day, but I don't want to have kids right now. And if they're saying that when you have kids, that's telling you to let them go because they're not going to be a father figure to your kid or to your children. No matter how much you try to manipulate that situation or change it, you can't change their truth. And so if you're really not wanting kids at that moment, then deepen that conversation. Okay? I respect you and I love you, but I'm with someone and we live together and I'm not happy. I sleep on the couch, but we do live together. That's a conditional love that they're willing to give you. It's not unconditional. And they have already told you what their standard is right there. And so if you agree to that and continue to see that person, then you're agreeing to a standard. Now, is that standard lowering your own standard and your value? And if it is, you don't ever have to lower your value or your standard to be with anyone because Divine Source says you're a high value woman and you're a high value man. I know you're my true love. I know that we have a spiritual connection. You're my twin flame or you're my soulmate. But I'm emotionally and mentally confused right now. Or I'm working on my own mental and emotional balance. And I don't want you to wait for me, or you don't have to wait for me, or I can't commit to you. Whatever that but is, that is the reason for you to let that person go. And it doesn't mean that it's the easiest thing to do. It's not. It takes vulnerability to be in touch with that energy that comes to you, that disappointment, that sadness, that loneliness. I love you, but I need to get my life in order. It's saying that that person is saying to you, I'm not going to be responsible if you stay. I'm not responsible for your actions. And what you have to ask yourself then is, I'm not going to be responsible, and I don't want to be responsible for their actions of saying they need to get their life in order. And I wait. How is that helping me? How am I getting my life in order if they're getting their life in order and I'm on hold? It's time for you to move on. Let them get their life in order. You know, bid them farewell with love and with the glad tidings and support that they get their life together. But you move forward and enjoy your life, because at that moment, isn't your life in order? And you're just opening yourself up to someone that can complement that. And if someone is coming back and saying they can't complement that, take them for their word. I appreciate you, and you're such a fabulous person. You're awesome, but I don't want to hold you back. Take them for their word and fly. I like you, but I need to explore other options, or I need my freedom. I just don't want to be caged in right now. I just don't want to commit to anybody. If you say, that's okay, I don't want a committed relationship anyway, and that's not your truth, then you will have lowered your standard in that very second. And you will give them permission to see other people in your face while you're a booty call at that point, while you have demoted yourself to a sexual partnership, friends with benefits. And if that's really not on your soul, because you wouldn't have engaged that conversation if it really was what you wanted, then it's time for you to let go and to pull back. I love you. You're such a good person, but you deserve better. You're extraordinary, but I can't give you what you want. You deserve so much better. Take them for their word and move on. I love you, but I can't give you what you need right now. See, that's where we can reason into staying. They're not going to take responsibility for you staying. And so months down the line or years down the line sometimes, right? I've been there where you say, well, you strung me along. You mean I've been here this long and we weren't going to do anything? You weren't going to commit to me? It's that idealizing. They're not going to take responsibility for you staying. They told you their truth, and now you don't have to take responsibility for their truth. It's their truth. You take responsibility for your truth, which is what brought you into that conversation to begin with. Your truth is wanting that commitment, wanting that step up, wanting to know where you stand in your relationship with this other person. No matter what that commitment is, whether it's dating status, exclusivity, engagement, marriage. You know, you're such a cool person. You're beautiful. But, and you're so helpful. You're kind, considerate, but I just don't like you in that way. Take them for their word. I like you, but I just want to be friends. You may receive that after you had sex with this person. So honoring your value from the jump is listening to your intuition and knowing what your standards are. I love you. I respect you. I admire you, but I just don't want to be in a committed relationship right now. Oh, you're such a good person. Oh my gosh, you're just the woman of my dreams, or you're the man that I've been waiting for. My gosh, but I just don't have time for a relationship right now. Take them for their word. You're not going to change them making time for you. That means that they're not going to prioritize you. And that's what they're telling you. That is their truth. And so if you fit in, oh, well, as long as I'm a part of your life, then it doesn't matter to me. I've heard that so many times from the men in my life, from brothers, from good friends. I've heard that many women have told them that. So this is something that happens all the time. Demoting yourself, your value, to be with a man. And I'm sure this happens from men, to women, demoting yourself to be with someone. Why? I love you, but I'm working on my career. Then that means that's where their focus is. Take them for their word, and it's time for you to let go. You are such a special part of my life, but I'm finding myself right now. Okay, well, you can reason to stay because they put that right now, or you can choose to honor your truth and walk away. Now, all of these statements are what I feel very strongly, and having lived through some of them, a lot of them, are your reason to walk away. Because if you have engaged that conversation to begin with, then it means that those but statements that are conditional statements at the end of that endearing, loving, beautiful, makes your heart skip a beat statement, negate your truth. They go against what your truth is. So I pray that that really helps everyone that um, comes across this video. And really the bottom line here is, it is time to go. It is time to leave a relationship, no matter what. If it's a twin flame, a spiritual, a soulmate relationship, a grow old with partner even. If those statements are coming up, I really want you to ask yourself what your intuition is saying. Because if those statements are coming, it's time to let go. Take them for their word and let them go as you move forward to receive the type of love that you deserve. Time doesn't wait, and our life is so precious. If they're not ready for you, divine timing might not be at play. But if they're not ready for you, they may not be made for you either. Honor your intuition. And if your intuition, if your soul is asking that question, it's for a reason. I pray that that helps you. Namaste. Warm love and bright light. And I'll see you very soon.